This is a vintage Victorinox Swiss Army officer's knife dating from the late 1940s. So this is the iconic little red knife that the GIs were introduced to in Europe during World War II, and they came home with them, or they came home wanting them and started buying them in the PXs. And it's really what got Victorinox started selling in the US, and then they went on, their way to selling globally and becoming one of the world's best known brands. So this is the knife, and the story behind the officer's knife in general is kind of interesting. Carl Elsner, who helped develop that first soldier's knife for the Swiss Army and deliver it to them in 1891, he actually envisioned a lighter, more elegant knife for officers. So he developed the officer's and sports knife. That's what he called it, and he had it patented or legally registered in 1897. And what was so innovative about it, of course this one's from the 40s, but he was able to put some back tools in addition to the 4 tools on the front side and hang all 6 of those tools off of 2 springs. So that's really what makes these knives so very innovative. This knife never really had an official Swiss military connection. My understanding is that Swiss Army officers received the same soldier's knife as other enlisted men. But this was sold at retail outlets, and officers liked it. Other military personnel and civilians liked it, and this is really kind of what propelled Victorinox as a success, kind of saved the company. So let's just take a look at it. This is a great knife. It's in great condition for its age. And let me just show you how we date it. When we take a look at the tang stamp, we can see on one side it says Army Suisse, Swiss Army, has a Swiss cross. And on the other side, Victoria, Switzerland, stainless. Hope you can see that. Victoria, Switzerland, stainless. And so Victorinox tells us that those tang stamps were used between 1932-33-ish to 1948-49-ish. And so, that gives us a range of dates. And then when we look at the other tools, we get some hints. And the biggest one is this. That's the second version can opener they put on the officer's knife. And that was started in 1946, and then they used that up until 1951 when they came out with the 3rd generation. So 46, we know this knife is 46, and no further out than 49, so it dates from 1946 to 1949. It was produced somewhere in those 4 years. And just taking a look at some of the other tools, to kind of show you the vintage tools. Screwdriver looks pretty familiar. It doesn't have a wire stripper or a notch or anything like that. But the awl, it's the old style awl. It's this really cool, robust, super sharp, pointy awl. Really like that. And then it does have a corkscrew. Swiss Army soldier knives never had a corkscrew. Just a fun fact. One way you can tell older Swiss Army knives is this little decorative groove that spirals around the corkscrew. They don't do that anymore. A lot of things they don't do anymore. One thing they don't do anymore that's really too bad is do a metal inlay of the Victorinox symbol in the Celador scales. These days they're just silk screened on there, and they rub right off over time. Another thing that's vintage about this knife is the bail. Nowadays they have a ring. The older knives either had nothing or a bail. And so that's one way to identify an older Swiss Army knife as well. And I just want to kind of compare this to what they were using, the actual soldier knife that they were using in 1948. This is the 1908 model soldier's knife. They kept it in production until 1951 when they brought out the 2nd generation soldier knife. This one in particular is kind of interesting because it's a 1948. So this knife was being made the same time this knife was being made. Just look at the difference. This one has carbon steel, clunky, heavy, plain Jane screwdriver, super old style can opener. Same type of awl. No back tools. So this one, you know, stainless steel back tools, plastic handle instead of the wood fiber. Just so much more modern and sophisticated. Really ahead of its time. And so just to let you know, this knife is for sale on my Etsy shop, and I'll put that information up at the end of the video like I always do. But if you're interested in owning it, you couldn't find a better specimen. I mean, this knife is in great condition. Look, the blades still have this wonderful sheen. They're sharp. All the tools still have snap. I mean, look at the condition of the scales. It's just shiny and, you know, what is it, a 70-something-year-old knife. 70-something-year-old knife. A little bit of oil right there. In great condition. The only issue with this knife, I guess, is cosmetic. The bail is slightly pushed out of shape. It's not quite symmetrical, but it's well attached and operates freely. So there you have it. Iconic Swiss Army officer's knife from the 40s in excellent condition. I hope you found this fun and interesting. Thank you for watching, and have fun collecting.